88 children tragically lost their lives to drowning in Florida last year. 76% of those children were between the ages of 1 and 4. Children with autism are 160 times more likely to drown than their neurotypical peers.
My daughter Lexi, she's 9 years old, and my son is 7 years old, and they love the water. And it attracts them. They love ponds, they love pools, they love the beach. I had to have swimming lessons for them because it's a split of a second. You turn around and they could be drowning. They could be in the bottom of the pool, they could be in bottom anywhere with water all over the place here in Florida. We had an incident one time at a pool where we live. I just went to put my bags down. I turn around and he jumps in the water. I jumped in right after him, and because he was horrified that he went right down and he panicked, and I panicked and I jumped in to get him out. We're surrounded in Florida with water everywhere. Pools, canals, beach, fountains, it's everywhere. So it's really important for them to know how to swim.
My son loves the water. He's 13 years old now, and he used to be afraid of the water, actually, which is not typical of a lot of kids with autism, but he's a very fearful kid in a lot of ways, and he has older sisters that would always be in the pool, jumping, swimming, and he wanted to get in and join them and play with them. It's something that's supposed to be recreational and fun for them to do, but yet it becomes this danger, this tragic opportunity for them to drown and die. And it's really very scary to know that this is something that's happening in people's own swimming pools and people's backyards.
The benefits from swimming for children with autism, there is no limit. Swimming changed my daughter's life. She could tell from the beginning, after her swim lessons, that this was a new freedom for her. It was something she could do on her own and not in a group. So she could be a solo swimmer, and so she didn't have to talk. So she started to excel, and she realized how strong she was getting, and she decided that she wanted to compete. So she started competing, and then the confidence level started coming. Whether she won or lost, it didn't matter. Being a part of the competition, being a part of her team, family, changed the way that she looks at the world.
There's a lot of cool stuff about swimming. It gives me energy, it keeps me strong and healthy, and it makes me confident, it makes me feel comfortable. There are a lot of children and adults out there that need lessons. So it is very important that you give people lessons because they're not afraid of water, and those who don't know how to swim, they want to just dive in and swim. But it's really dangerous and you can die. So it's very important that you get lessons.
I think that the cost is a huge impediment, because it was for us. We had to save for quite some time in order to get the lessons, but it was the greatest gift that I've given to my children.
My son loves the water. It's kind of, you see one of the best moments of him, I think, is because he is excited about it or likes the way it feels. I think that the drowning statistics of children with autism, definitely something needs to be done about it so that this way we can prevent that to happen to so many families that it's happening to, now today. I think it's important if a swim instructor knows how they feel and what they're experiencing. And so if you're not so much trained in that or have no idea, it may become harder to know how to deal with them or how to work with them.
Teaching kids to swim is crucial. It's life-saving. We have, not an expression, but I tend to tell parents, 2 or 3 days of your child's crying is worth a lifetime of you crying for losing your child. Kids are attracted to water. They're curious and they seek it out. I think the biggest challenge for teaching a child with autism is probably patience and resources on part of the instructor. Because these kids have such special needs, I think it's important to understand the symptoms of autism in terms of how to hold them, when they're reaching their limit in terms of stimulation, taking a break, moving very slowly in the learning process.
2.5 years ago, in 2016, I lost my son to drowning. Our life has never been the same. I started working on a foundation to honor him and to help spread awareness and education on water safety. And the foundation's name is the Gunnar Martin Foundation. Young children are curious, they're smarter than you think. One day they can't open the door, the next day they can. And specifically, parents just don't think it can happen to them.
It's really the number one thing you've got to teach your kid how to do. You have to learn how to swim and how to survive. It's so crucial, so important.
The Autism Society of Florida is striving to make a difference for this grim statistic that has remained the same for decades by providing swim lesson scholarships, training to swim instructors on autism, and education to families. But we can only do that through the support of people like you. So join us and make the difference that saves lives.